We want to get Jessica Kriegel's take on the state of the labor market. She's the Chief Strategy Officer, Culture Partners. Jessica, it's good to see you. All right, let's talk about the setup today. Recently, jobless claims have been holding up overall. How would you characterize the state of the job market? But overall, it may have been held up overall, but July, the jobs report was weaker than expected. What's your take?
Jobs report was weaker than expected, and I think today's jobless claims report is probably going to be bad news, whether it's up or down. And what I mean by that is people are seeing larger trends. The CEOs that we're talking to are not paying that much attention to the backward-looking data, they're looking forward. And if you look forward in the next 2 to 3 months, you see that the effect on tariffs on their businesses has been profound. We're coming to the end of their stockpiled inventories. You're seeing that they have been absorbing costs up until this point, but they're not going to be doing that anymore. We worked with one consumer packaged goods company that's already increased their prices 22% on platforms like Amazon. They're seeing their competitors doing the same thing. So looking forward, today's report, if it's up, it's down. I think the larger trend that everyone is seeing is that this jobs market is bad and is not looking positive for the near future.
I don't know if we can call it bad yet at this point. I mean, you know, the last print wasn't great, right? But there was still some job growth. And yes, there were revisions lower for the prior couple months. But again, there still were jobs added. At the same time, there are obviously certain sectors that are feeling it worse than others. Where are you seeing the most challenges?
Well, your fair point is that when you're looking at the data, again, looking backwards, maybe it doesn't look bad yet. I'm talking to CEOs, and what they're saying is that looking forward, it is looking bad. So I'm anticipating what's to come. You saw Powell with his speech talking about these 3 warning signs. Jobs are not being added quickly. You have longer time to get a job for most people, over 27 weeks. And then you've got young people who can't find a job. It is twice as hard to find a job this year than it was last year for college graduates. And what does that mean? It means that companies are not hiring, they're not firing. We are also seeing massive cost-cutting measures that are being taken place right now. So, for example, we're working with one company. They got $50 million on payroll. They're looking to cut $12 million of that. They're not going to do it right now. They're trying to get through the peak season of November and December, but that is planned for January. And I think a lot of organizations are in the same space. Obviously, sectors like healthcare, education, okay. But when you look at the broader job market, even if regional data is looking somewhat positive here and there, I don't think a lot of CEOs are looking up right now.
Okay, so Jessica, one of the things I have heard, a trend I've heard from different executives is that there is this skills gap, right? This mismatch between what skills people have and what's actually needed. Are you hearing something similar?
Certainly, AI obviously is a question mark. Most executives are still scratching their head about AI. Okay, we haven't figured that out. What we do know is that it seems like it's dramatically changing the workplace, and they are investigating it right now. They have AI consultants, AI coaches helping them look into efficiencies, where they can improve their processes, what roles can be replaced, because over the long term, the market responds very positively to those kinds of efficiencies being implemented. And so right now, they're not hiring college grads, they're not hiring low-skilled workers because if they can avoid it, because they're trying to figure out how to replace those jobs entirely.
Okay, but Jessica, let me ask you this question, because one of the things that Fed Chair Jerome Powell talked about in his last press conference was that, you know, the shift in the labor market dynamics with the aging of the workforce, right? So you have baby boomers and older Gen X who are retiring or set to retire soon. How can companies maintain that intergenerational knowledge transfer, especially with what you're saying is happening on the entry-level leg of the ladder?
Yeah, well, I love this question. It's what my first book was about. So as leaders, we are still people, right? And people see different generations in different lights based mostly on stereotyping. So we see older generations. Some people see them as skills that are getting outdated. They need to be replaced. People see young folks. They think that they don't have any interpersonal skills. The reality is where you see growth in your organization, the talent that you want to invest in is the people who are contributing to the outcomes. And that really doesn't have anything to do with generations. And knowledge transfers, where it was maybe a head scratcher 20 years ago, 10 years ago, we understand how to transfer knowledge now within organizations because of the advent of technology, and AI is making that more helpful than ever before.
All right, Jessica, we will leave our conversation there for today. That's Jessica Kriegel, Chief Strategy Officer, Culture Partners.